Hi Cancer, welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. Welcome to your general reading for the month of November. I've been really excited to tell my signs this month that finally we're going to get a little bit of relief. Now I do have to tell you that the first 2 weeks of November and the very end of October are pretty electric, surprising. There's a lot of things. So I have been telling a lot of my signs as well, if you're listening to this, before that 31st full moon for you, some of this may not even make sense. And that's how quick that energy comes in on that full moon in Taurus, which is your 11th house. It could really shake things up in your life. It could really change the course of destiny in a way. And I think the universe is kind of clearing paths for us right now. So it's really nothing to be afraid of. Ultimately, when Uranus is involved, there's a freeing energy. We're being freed from something, freed from the constraints, freed from society in a way, free of, capitalism in some way. It may feel jolting, it may feel uncomfortable, it might feel unnatural. But ultimately, whatever is happening is bringing us to our path of destiny right now. And it's really apparent because we're starting so many new cycles. Now, this is really important for you, Cancer, because in November, we have all three, Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter, moving direct now, actually gaining movement in your 7th house of partnership. Now that could be partnerships, romantic partners, commitments, taking things to the next level. It could be business partnerships. It could involve contracts. So this is kind of a big defining moment for you because the past couple of years has been an intense amount of lessons in this area of life. And I think a lot of my Cancers are just simply looking for peace right now. Like they've been through it. But we have the third and final Jupiter-Pluto conjunction in the middle of November as Mars finally starts to move direct in your 10th house. And all of a sudden, so quickly, we start to put the pieces of the puzzle together. We start to come into alignment with the things we've been working on, the things that we've been wishing for, the things that we have been manifesting for all of 2020. So this is a really important time. And when looking at your cards, you are coming out as the Queen of Fire. Cancer, I love this for you. And I think this really talks a lot about that Mars finally moving direct in your 10th house, your house of reputation, of honors, your purpose in this lifetime. And I feel like this is your intuition absolutely on fire. The Queen of Fire is that of the ultimate intuition, the ultimate manifestation. And the thing that I love about the Queen of Fire is that she is so tuned into her creativity. And she is so tuned into her dreams and what she wants and what she desires. And it's not about ego and it's not about greed. It's about knowing oneself, knowing what makes them happy, and setting their target. The Queen of Wands isn't really about the busy work. She's not really going to be working in the details. This is big picture stuff. And it's not surprising me that most of my signs this month have come out in kind of these higher level suit cards, meaning we've all reached this level of mastery. We see the big picture. We know what we want. Now we have to start to make the moves. We have to start to really believe in it. It might be hard to gain that belief when the universe is moving so swiftly, and it's almost hard to get a balance on what things really are, which is why it is a blessing that you were coming out as a Queen of Fire, because if you were in your element of the Queen of Water, you would probably be focusing on your emotions and how it makes you feel, and I feel like Uranus just isn't really going to give you that opportunity. I don't think you're going to get a night or two to sleep on these opportunities, and the Queen of Fire energy says that you've got to leap. You know, you've got to do that thing as soon as it shows up. You kind of got to jump on it, meaning you have to be really brave. And to be brave, you have to be confident. And I think that's the key this month for Cancer, is the level of confidence that I'm seeing. There's so many wands in this reading. There is so much fire, meaning, Cancer, that you are coming off as extremely attractive. You are attracting those opportunities. You are attracting those partners. You're attracting the jobs. It's really whatever you want. But it's important to recognize the level of manifesting that you're doing in this time. Now, your first two cards out is the Two of Wands and the Four of Wands. There's a lot. There's a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot, of a backstory here. The Two of Wands is something that you truly want and desire. It is an opportunity that made itself to you. Something you manifested, something you desired, something that you've maybe been waiting on, waiting for. And the Two of Wands can represent making decisions based on our desires, based on our intuition. And the Four of Cups, or the Four of Wands, tells me that there was a deepening here. Maybe the thing that you wanted was to take that relationship to the next level, or to get that big job promotion, that big corner office. But this Four of Wands was the ultimate goal, and this Two of Wands means that you manifested it right into your life with ease. However, clarifying these two cards is the Ten of Cups, Two of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Wands. There's so much fire. It's actually hard for me to kind of connect in this energy, because I feel like I get a sense that things got a little scattered. Things got a little confusing. Because I think that whatever this was, the perfect job, the perfect partner, Ten of Cups, there was a tremendous amount of happiness. This was a thing or a person that felt like home. It felt like everything you had ever wanted. But the Two of Wands in reverse means at some point there was a loss of cooperation. Meaning that the person or the job or the situation that you wanted so badly, the feelings may not have been reciprocated. And I don't always get this from the Two of Wands in reverse, but I do, because the overall energy on this side is a Tower and the Six of Swords and the Hierophant. Bear with me, we're going to be jumping around a lot. There's a lot here. I feel like this Two of Wands really stung. And I feel like it really did some damage. It feels like a rejection. It feels like, you know, maybe you thought that both of you were on the same page. Two of Wands, Two of Wands. But it became apparent that somebody wasn't. And the Tower card with the Six of Wands tells me that some kind of information, some kind of defining moment, some big fight, some big revelation led you to believe that you had to leave. And the Six of Swords is when we kind of get dragged to calmer waters, meaning we know we can't stay in a situation. Six of Wands, or the Six of Swords, is not celebratory. It's painful. It's retreating. I feel like that Tower packed a punch. And I feel like the Hierophant with the Six of Swords means that you had to take some time to understand that there was a higher lesson here. The Hierophant, there was a greater meaning to all of this. And I think maybe the lesson was simply that now you know how powerful you can manifest situations in your life. Therefore, it probably shouldn't be as difficult as it used to be to walk away from situations that don't turn out to be. I think the Hierophant is really reflective of acceptance. Acceptance in how the universe works. Acceptance that, you know, at times in our life we are kind of brought into situations with soulmates or soul contracts or people that we're supposed to have these experiences with. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to last forever. There are lessons you're learning from each other. The universe really doesn't care how it goes because you get infinite chances. And if you don't close out the karma with this partner, you get a new partner with a lot of the same issues you dealt with this one, and the same goes for jobs, until you work out the karma in the situation. So if you are struggling trying to understand why something that seemed so perfect could end so abruptly, in the Hierophant, you might really be questioning your own intuition. This Ten of Cups tells me you felt it. You felt the fulfillment. You felt the happiness. It was in your hands. Two of Wands. It was something concrete right in front of you that you could start to count on. And then somebody changed their minds. Somebody switched up the story. Now the Three of Wands here could indicate that there was a three-party situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be cheating. It doesn't have to be somebody being unfaithful. It could be a lot of people in another person's ears telling them why they shouldn't pursue this or that or the other. It could be gossip. It could be religious issues. It could be all kinds of reasons. It could be substance abuse. It could be 100 million reasons why this person ultimately decided that this wasn't their Ten of Cups. And Cancer was kind of stuck saying, well, okay, I know I have to leave. I know I can't stay. I know I don't. I know I deserve better, the Hierophant. And I think Cancer started to understand what it means to be a little bit more fluid and a little more emotionally unattached, which is really ultimately what we're all learning here. We're all learning to not take these things so personally. Look, every one of us has a life path. Every one of us has an element of destiny that we have to take advantage of. We're never in control of anybody else's path. We can never control anyone else but ourselves. But we can control our reactions to it. We can control the amount of damage we allow it to do. And so I like that the Hierophant is here, because there seems to be this ultimate understanding after so many years of the losses, Cancer. So many years of maybe feeling like a lot of people disappoint you, let you down, don't keep their promises. But I don't see a Cancer slipping into victim mode at all. I don't see any of that in these cards at all, which tells me that you're doing really well with this lesson. It tells me that no matter how difficult the loss is, you are not questioning your self-worth. You're not questioning, should I even try anymore? A lot of us go through losses over and over again, and then we become hardened. Our hearts become hard. We don't believe in it anymore. And I think ultimately that's the saddest part of being in the human experience, is when you start to lose hope. Life is very different when you taste it from a place where you don't have hope. Because ultimately, why are you here then? Ultimately, what would you have to do here? You didn't believe in that thing that you've always wanted. All of this would feel pretty pointless. And the Hierophant tells me that you know there's a bigger picture, that you know there's something bigger, there's something better, that you know that the way the universe works is if this doesn't work out, something else comes along that will. And so any sense of loss of faith and hope, Three of Wands, is just simply a waste of time. Now the thing is, there's some indication that this hurt, this person, this situation that disappointed you might be making its way back. And the Three of Wands tells me that even though it hurt, even though you walked away, you did what you had to do, I think there's an element of Cancer that never really gave up hope. Like I said, it may have left you questioning your own intuition. But I think at this point in self-mastery, Cancer has a hard time questioning their intuition. So something in your mind is hanging on to hope. And maybe not necessarily with this person, maybe not necessarily at this job or in this friendship, but for sure in the idea of the Ten of Cups. Just because it didn't work out with this person doesn't mean that you're not going to have that ultimate beautiful relationship. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get that job where you're able to really focus on your real passions, to really showcase your talents, to really feel good about yourself. Cancer, regardless of anybody else, is not giving up on their dreams. Clarifying these cards is a Divine Mother Manifest. Card number 15, breaking down to a 6, which is a number that represents love, along with this giant green heart chakra opening right here, telling me that this self-mastery that you've been working on. I just want to point out this card here, this Elder of Cups. I think this is Cancer's heart growing through the disappointments. And I think the universe really likes what it sees here. I think he really likes, like, this Elder of Cups is very indicative of holding space. And maybe you're holding space for this person. And the Divine Mother Manifestor tells me that there is something that you are wishing for Three of Wands. This is doing the vision board or just dreaming about it a lot. Sorry, guys. But it feels as though you're holding space for something. Waiting for something to kind of run its course. If you're waiting on somebody to kind of do their own self-work in hopes that they will come back healed, healthier. But I like that the Elder of Cups isn't going to hold any kind of expectations. There's just a sense that the universe is going to bring you whatever it brings you because it's meant to be yours and because it is good. This isn't really Cancer going down another cycle of another bad relationship. This isn't Cancer having a hard time letting go to that thing they know isn't good for them. This is about already feeling the happiness, knowing that that's how you bring it in. You know, that sense of you kind of have to fake it until you make it. You kind of have to pretend that it's already yours. You really kind of have to go about life thinking that you've already accomplished those things. You already have that perfect relationship. Like, already be emotionally in that place. And you can't be like that if you have other people continually showing you that's not what it is. This is such an intelligent manifesting place. I don't know if you guys have been listening to your Abraham Hicks or, you know, whatever it is that led you down the path of the art of manifestation kind of stuff, but I think it's starting to really make a difference. I think it's really starting to show, but I do want to go back on this. You have the Five of Cups and the Ten of Wands. Yeah, this could be you, Cancer. This could be you kind of processing the disappointment. It can be you looking at what has been lost, how you've been hurt, how you've been disappointed. But I also feel like this is the other person or the other situation. And I think this is kind of what they're dealing with, what they're going through. See, the Four of Wands does remind me of higher level of commitment, of marriage, of partnership, or moving in together. That big promotion or making an offer for a partnership of some sort. And then this person gets a little lost in their past. Maybe this person experienced a pretty rough relationship or had a bad marriage in the past, or maybe they had kind of a rough experience at a job, and it becomes a trigger because it is unhealed. It is unhealed. But we do know that we're in this time, right, where the universe is really pushing us to, like, clean it up. So you know that this person is being pushed to clean it up. Ten of Wands. Now, I can't tell you how quickly this is going to go. I can't tell you what kind of a process this is going to be. But I can promise you, Five of Cups, this person has a lot of regret. There's a lot of guilt. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of being disappointed in themselves. And the Ten of Wands is that they're almost there. They're almost to the point where they can lay down that regret. They can lay down that remorse. There's probably some conversations that need to be had. There's probably Four of Wands can be indicative of a reunion. And part of their redemption process might be to reach out and contact you so that they can tell you how sorry they are, so that they can tell you about how they have emotionally grown, how they understand the situation from a different perspective, how they are sorry. Ten of Wands also tells me that this isn't an easy process. It's probably not easy on you. It's probably not easy on them. If this is a job partnership, you know, there might be a need to kind of rebuild some trust. And it's probably not going to be easy. But this is the end of that karmic cycle. This is probably the one thing you kind of need to push through. And see, the thing is, Cancer, I feel like there's an element of neither of you moving on because you know you're just going to have to do this all over again with another person. And like I said right away when I looked at these cards, I was like, oh, Cancer is done with this stuff. Cancer is done. They're done being the fool. They're done being taken advantage of. They're done being used for their kindness and their good heart. And I think Cancer is getting really good at walking away. And I think that that self-worth is serving them very well. Because it's delivering a message. It's delivering a message to those that you truly love and care about. And it's not about threatening that I'm going to leave, but it's about making myself a priority, Elder of Cups. It's about understanding how important your emotional well-being is. Because when you are not happy, when you are not fulfilled, when you're in an element of lack, it doesn't just affect your mind, it affects your body, it affects your money. It hits every different level of your life. And I feel like Cancer spent a lot of time like that. Now I love this. And I'm going to kind of go to the outcome before I hit the advice section, so bear with me here, but I think it's relevant. The outcome is a 9 of Pentacles and Coyote Spirit. Now, does this mean ultimately you end up single? Maybe. The 9 of Pentacles is not a place to be. It's not a bad place to be. It's not a negative mindset. It's the idea that nobody else can break you anymore, Cancer. It's the idea that people can come and go in and out of your life as they please. However, there is a certain amount of boundaries. There's a certain amount of respect that you demand. And this is all about being in your self-worth. This is all about dictating how you want others to treat you. This is all about being self-sufficient. And maybe this thing you were working on was between two people that had some wounds. And as your person is working through their stuff in the hopes to get back to you, I think it's highly advisable that you do the same. There may have been some codependency issues, and maybe you didn't even notice it. Maybe you didn't notice how you were so emotionally affected because this other person wasn't happy. That's that Elder of Cups energy. Holding space. Not everybody that we love is always going to be at this perfect frequency with us, right? People have bad days, people have bad experiences, they have rough times in life. And because you're so empathic and because you are so compassionate, you understand that. But 2020 has made you, Cancer, say, but I gotta do me first. I gotta make sure that I'm good. I gotta watch myself. I gotta make sure I'm happy, to make sure that I'm emotionally fulfilled. And I realize that nobody does that for me. 9 of Pentacles energy. Because quite honestly, we are all looking for that 10 of Cups when none of us are ever at the 9 of Pentacles status. The 9 of Pentacles is the version of you that is fine if people don't want to be with you. They are fine if people don't want to cooperate. They're fine if other people need to go on and experience other things. Now, that's not to say you're okay if somebody's like cheating on you, okay? This is all about being in your self-worth. And the Coyote spirit, trust in divine detours, means that there was probably an element of this relationship that needed to be a little shook up. The universe kind of pushed both of you, kind of forced both of you to kind of conquer this healing so that you both can come back in this 9 of Pentacles place. Challenge card is the 6 of Wands, more fire energy. And I just want to say this really quick. There's so much fire and Wands energy. If this is a love relationship, it is probably very electric. This many Wands, I'm thinking twin flame-ish. Now, I don't know if I fully buy into the whole twin flame thing, but I do think that there are certain connections that kind of like really provoke you. Clearly, they're sent to us. We're meant to have these experiences to kind of like catapult us into the next level of spiritual lessons, a human expansion. And the 6 of Wands in the resistance position is telling me that you have to watch your ego. You have to remain in this really balanced place of compassion but self-worth. The 6 of Wands tells me there will be victory. But I also think that Cancer has to be careful to understand that you're not taking any prisoners either. And so this person in the healing process, if you're trying to come back together, 3 of Wands, it looks like you are still holding on hope, holding space for this person to come back. You're going to have the courage to stand up for yourself, Cancer. You're going to have to be a leader in the situation. Meaning you're probably going to have to take charge, and you're probably going to have those conversations like, if this is going to work, it's going to have to be like this. And I think there's an element here that your dignity, don't forget that is your highest level of learning. Now you've learned how to walk away from things that do not serve you. And to not hesitate to do that again. See, I think the only way this is going to work is if it's done in a completely different way. The entire relationship needed to change. Like I said, it feels very electric. It feels very sexual in a way. And yet all we have is this one little cup here and a 5 of Cups. There is love here. There's no doubt that there's love here. just not so sure it's always expressed. I think both of you have a level of love for each other that's kind of not so open. And if this is going to work out, you're both going to have to open up. You're both going to have to be vulnerable. You're both going to have to speak your truth. And that means letting go of the ego. Now, if your person is unable to do this, Cancer, but you really want this to work out, then I suggest you start setting the example. Six of Wands tells me that you are capable of being in a role of leadership, meaning you're going to have to kind of dictate how this situation goes. Ace of Wands tells me that there will be another chance, there will be another shot, there will be another opportunity. This is another manifestation. Cancer, if you don't understand the power that you're yielding right now, I suggest you just try it. You know? Like, think of something silly like turtle, 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 turtle. I want to see a turtle. And then give it like a day or two, and I guarantee you the universe is going to show you a turtle in some way, shape, or form. You have to recognize how powerful you are right now, and you have to recognize that you are creating this reality. So you need to create what it is that you desire. The Sun, the Ten of Swords, and the World. You're closing out a cycle. This whole Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter in your 7th house. No more bad relationships. No more unfulfilling, unrequited love. No more. It's time to step in your self-worth. It's time to let others nourish you. It's time to be able to receive love. And the World card and the Ten of Swords tells me that when it's not right and it's not fair and it doesn't lead you to the ultimate happiness, you have no fear in ending it. But you also have no fear in giving it another shot. World card is always indicative of second chances. But you are in control. And you get to dictate, and you get to say what makes you happy, and you get to set those boundaries. Again, the World card, very Saturn, very boundaries. I'm not willing to put up with this particular behavior. I'm not going to be treated like I am an option, you know? I mean, I don't think I've ever met a Cancer who really asks for all that much. And if you've been in a place in your life where you've hesitated asking for just the simplest things, well, that's changing now. Now you get to say, no, I deserve more. No, I deserve better than that. And then you just let others choose their own path. Clarifying this, well, you know what, let me jump here first. Your oracle cards are regeneration and a leg up. And I'm actually going to read both of these to you really quickly. I know you guys got a long reading. I'm sorry. The cardinal signs, again, but I promise it's going to ease up. Okay, card number 46. Rebirth, second chances, and new opportunities. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. And as a relationship message, the world is based on connections and relationships. No matter what loss has occurred in the past or even now, death and endings are only illusions. There is life after death, love after loss, and in this moment you are radiating and regenerative life force energy that makes you irresistible to love in all forms. Now is the time when you will see evidence of this new emergence. Can you feel it? Love is rising up to greet you. It's coming back, Cancer. It's coming back. And then the leg up, and this was really important that you guys hear this. This is big. Receiving help, delegating authority, and interdependence. You've come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with you who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept the aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles can happen. Now is such a time. I think this is the opportunity for you to come back together with this person who is clearly meant to play an important role in your life, in your spiritual growth. And I think that this is a time and an opportunity where, as long as you're both being authentic and honest and working on yourselves and making yourselves your own priority, I think there's a real opportunity here. Now, I'm not usually big on exes getting back together, you know. I think typically it doesn't work out. Typically it didn't work out to begin with for a very important reason. And sometimes we miss people and we go back. We slip into old comfort zones. But knowing the astrology, knowing what we're all going through right now, knowing how much we are being pushed to heal things, if ever there was a time where this was possible, it is now. Your advice card from Spirit, and I think this is pretty amazing, clarifying this Ace of Wands energy, and I'm not so sure it's related to this. I think there's a couple different messages here. You got the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Wheel. And this is really showing you what an abundant time it is. Now, the Four of Pentacles could be an area of life where you kind of hold things close. And I'm going to tell you that if you're going into this relationship again, you cannot be hesitant to say the things that hurt you, to say the things that, you have to be able to express yourself and your emotions. And that includes telling this person that you really, truly love them. Can't just keep that close to you. Now is a month where you have to really open up. Eight of Pentacles tells me that most likely you're in alignment, you're in your flow, you're kind of doing your thing. Eight of Pentacles can also be indicative of a work project. So if there is a creative project and you're kind of not talking about it, you're not telling anybody, it's kind of under wraps, Wheel of Fortune can bring some serious change. Now this could be in addition to this love situation, because you've got a lot going on in your 10th house, and it wouldn't surprise me if you had an old relationship brought back to life and major career successes coming in at the same time. It's 2020, right? A lot of things are happening at the same time. Eight of Pentacles tells me that you're working really hard, and there's alchemy involved, there's pressure, there's time, there's certain ingredients. You could be kind of really learning new skills. I don't know, I kind of sometimes see this as you like kind of doing your side business, maybe really pouring yourself into work at this time, and I think that's a healthy thing to do. as long as you're not using it to block off the other emotional realms of your life. Because this is about finding balance, a wheel of fortune, things will go in your way when you find balance, when you find alignment, and when you understand that you deserve all of it, and all of it is equally as important. It's a really exciting month, Cancer. This was an amazing reading. I'm going to leave you guys at that. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It's helping the algorithms get these videos out. And I'm absolutely loving the community. All right, I'll be back for the mid-month love readings. And until then, guys, have a great November. Lots of love. Bye.